Which carnivals are hot? Which carnivals are not? Which carnivals we skipping? Which carnivals are tripping? I'm sorry. That just came into my head. But seriously though, stay tuned because we're going to answer all those questions I just dropped in my little song and more with our special guest. You're tuned into Nice-ish, the carnival-specific podcast that addresses chat-worthy topics straight off the Caribbean social scene. It's your one-stop spot to get all the information you need to be successful in this carnival-chasing lifestyle. You'll be filled with knowledge and getting updates from me, Shah, and other professionals in the field of Bacchanal. It's time to get nice. Hi, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whatever time zone you are in, I say happy 2020. We made it, y'all. Like, we made it into another decade. So we are ringing in our very first episode. I am excited about this. I think you already know that I'm so looking forward to this podcast. This has been long overdue. So tell them we reach. But I have the homie Global Carnivalist in the house. She and I are going to talk about the 2020 Carnival forecast and see what's in store for everybody, right? What's in store for all of we? Because I'm still trying to figure out my life for this year as well. But before we get started, it's time for movementation. All right, y'all. So this is that part in the episode where I give you a little information about what happened last month. So we're in 2020. It's January 1st. And often people ask me, like, what did you get into for December? You know, that first day you get back in the office on a Monday, it was like, oh, what'd you do this weekend? And for the most part, my answers to that have been, I ain't do a damn thing, which I haven't. Like, I have legit been in hermit mode. I am supposed to be on African soil right now in Ghana, but because of life and because of, you know, my spirit, and I was just really listening to my body, and it's just like, no, Shamir, you don't need to be going on this trip for a number of reasons. So I didn't go, and I took an out. There was an opportunity because they had changed the leg of the flight, and they were giving passengers the opportunity to just get a full refund. And once I found out I could get a full refund on a ticket that was not cheap, I was like, oh, bet. So everything was just lining up. And I feel like the universe never lies. I don't really believe in coincidences. Like, things happen for a damn reason. And I was like, you know what? Let me take this. So I'm going to take that. So I'm not in Ghana. I will, you know, spend some time in Boston or whatever to see my mother. And I'm just really in self-care mode, self-preservation mode. I'm really just kind of staying low. I really just want to chill. And today is spa day for me. I'm gonna be in Jersey all day getting my treatments and just really relaxing. And I wanted to relax into 2020, and that is what I did because I'm trying to set the mood. Like, I don't need to be up and about. I don't need to be everywhere. And that's just how my December was, just really chilled and just trying to be productive, putting this podcast together for y'all, being productive with my brand on the back end and creating necessary documents and making sure that I'm staying consistent with things. So it's been good. And I love the space that I'm in. And I think it's good to kind of just clear your head. Like, I'm that person that I don't have to be everywhere and I don't have to do everything. Being at home is just fine for me. Rarely will you see me on the FET scene in New York. I just wasn't with the shits this year, and I didn't want to do any parties. I didn't want to do anything. Like, moving forward, I just wanted to either not be here for New Year's or do something completely different, or just hang with myself. And I enjoy my own company. I think that's important for everyone. So that has been my movement. Those are my movementations for December, and I look forward to sharing my January movements with you next month. So look out for that. Let's get into this chat with Global Carnivalist because this is what we have been waiting for. All right.
We ready?
We ready.
You have the perfect personality for you to have a podcast. Like, this is amazing. I'm so happy.
I don't know if you know, but there is this very intense calendar that she posts every year in conjunction with Lucy and Vagabond. That's right, yes?
That is correct.
And I think it is the most helpful thing. I literally took the calendar, went into Google, plotted all of them in my calendar, and then highlighted the ones that I'd be going to, because sometimes you just never know like when you're going to have a break, and then you're like, oh, this lines up with right here, so let me see what's going on with that. So I wanted to welcome you to Nice-ish. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us. Tell us who you are, like why you started this brand, what you do, all of that. Give me the tea.
So I am Global Carnivalist, aka Globey now, as the streets knows me. And while carnival was always something that I had done with family, so I'm sure you know from trying to plan previous years before this carnival chaser takeoff, it's like it was so hard to find information. If you wanted to go to Caribbean, it was like, who are the bands? If you wanted to go to St. Vincent's, like, where can I get my makeup done? And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put all of the centralized info that I would be looking for in one place. I could never have anticipated in my wildest dreams that it would be what it is now, because it literally was just like a cloud drop for me. And Google working the way it does, and algorithms and SEO search terms, like it took off, and this is where we are right now. And I'm super excited, always grateful, still very humble when people come up to me. I'm like, how do you even know I exist? But like, it's amazing.
Girl, they know you. They be seeing you out in the streets. They know the hat. They know what to expect. They know when the wig comes out. But no, I understand, and I totally get it, because I get the same thing. But drop your social media platforms and links for the people so that they know where to find you.
If you're looking to say hello, you can find me on Instagram at Global Carnivalist, spell out Global and Carnivalist. Or if you need any information, you want to look for an MUA to do your makeup, or just find out general carnival one-on-one history, you can check out www.globalcarnivalist.com.
Yes, lovely. Talk to me about the origins of like the calendar. Like really, I'm always like, I'm an operations person, so I'm always like, well, how did it happen, and how long did it take, and who did you have to contact to get all the info? Like, how did that work out?
So I started putting together this carnival calendar originally in 2016, just because, like yourself, I wanted to know what carnivals were coming up, if I wanted to try something new. And of course, my brand is the Global Carnivalist. So that encompasses carnivals all over the place. And over the years, like as carnivals got added and they got bigger, and I began to know more and more stakeholders, this year for 2020 was the first time we more or less automated the calendar uploading experience and also included stakeholders. So in August, Lucy Vagabond and I reached out to all the stakeholders we knew who were putting together carnivals, were on boards or associated, and sent them an email and just said like, hey, this is our circulation. We are putting together this calendar. Please respond to us by X date so that we can have this out to the public. And that's what happened. Like, it's amazing. I love seeing how much it's grown. Even from the carnival we released a month ago, like there are more carnivals added already. We're always getting carnivals being added to that calendar. But it was just to have a centralized, official, like calendar that you knew the dates came from the source. We didn't want to have to Google it. You know, things are inaccurate sometimes. So we just wanted to make sure it came from the source so that when you see that date, you know it was provided to us by the person that's organizing that carnival. So whether it's the tourism board or whatever. And we're so grateful for all the people that responded and got back to us and made sure their dates were out there.
Yes, that thing is so helpful, because, and it's true, sometimes you'll go and people will do their version of research and be like, oh, these are the dates. And then you go and you're like, nope, those are definitely not the dates for that carnival. Where did you get that info?
Yep. And I know carnival tourism is huge right now. And so we wanted to make sure people had like all the accurate information, whether that is you're hopping from going from Bahamas to Cayman, because even Cayman shifted their date. Like, those are things that we needed to know. You know what I mean? So it's like, please enter our email. I even emailed 4 times, because, you know, Caribbean people love to pretend they don't see it. So I emailed 4 times. Nobody can see it. I don't reach out to them 4 times, and like, this is where we are. So I'm excited for the upcoming year, just to see how this all plays out. And it's a great source of information. Like, it's a great resource for them. Like, that calendar has been circulated so many times. If I get one more,
that is a fact. Oh my God. Because I'm in the chats and I'm in like so many chats and then it kept popping. Bob was like, it's
Yep.
Carnival.
And then the people who were mad their dates weren't there. And I'm like, you should have answered your emails.
That's it.
Should
They'll
have answered
learn.
your emails.
They'll know for next year. It's okay.
Which is exactly what I said.
It's a full calendar. I think there was only like 1 month that there wasn't really that much going on. So all your islands out there that don't really have Carnival, Turks and Caicos, you need to plan around that.
Add it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So what can everybody look forward to on the Carnival Sea for 2020? I think there's a lot of people who are still trying to figure out what to do. And I think oftentimes when we come back from somewhere, there's always people that are saying, okay, next year, I'm in that. So what are you hearing on your end and what do you think should be pushed or not even pushed, whatever, for 2020?
So, of course, like St. Lucian bands right now are launching.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where a lot of the chit chat is and excitement. And every year people are saying they should go. And selfishly to myself, because I know how fun it is and I don't want it to get too big. I'm like, please don't go to St. Lucia. Just watch from outside. But it is an amazing experience if you can't budget for that flight, because I think that's the most expensive thing. I would definitely put that on my radar for you to go visit and just support another island. And remember, again, tourism is integral to our islands. Absolutely. And sometimes of them making money and all the vendors. So don't just see it as, like Carnival only. St. Vincent is another one I think is picking up. If you think about the contribution that St. Vincent had just to soca music this year, from production and Skinny and Vaughn. Oh, no, Vaughn is Grenadian, sorry. Like just all the other things that are taking place around that. I think that's a carnival that is still under commercialized. Yeah. Like you can still frontline costume for $500. That is amazing, right? For 2 days. So it's like, I suggest everybody run there before it becomes the next blow up thing that people want to check out. And I do know there's like these little soca weekends that are popping up. I don't know if you heard, but hybrid events for Revel Nation, they're doing Escape Weekend next year in June as well. So people can look out for details on that. Like it's kind of like kept quiet, but it's a known thing. Yeah. So that's something that people could look forward to. If you just want a vacation somewhere beautiful with a lot of soca music, that might be the thing for you and not be overwhelmed with having to get a costume and all of that.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm looking at NOLA just because I think I love Hooky. I love Hooky, but I'm like, I think I want to do something else for that June. And I need in that food, I just need in
amazing, right?
My life. So that's where I'm kind of looking. And I think you already know for 2020, I'm doing Bacchanal Road, which is one of those trending things that we're about to talk about. But I think, if people are just kind of want to touch down in Trinidad and don't necessarily want to do, or not even want to spend the funds on like that full carnival experience, then there are, just like you were mentioning, there are those opportunities to kind of just go and you have an opportunity to explore the land and the culture and just get away without spending too much and hurting your bank account. So yeah, definitely look out for those. And I know Soca Weekender, that Portugal trip, is something that people have. Wait, did that happen already?
No, it's coming.
It's coming up.
Oh, I don't know if the Portugal one happened, but I know they have a Soca Weekender coming up in October of next year. But when you even talk about other things happening in Trinidad outside of Bacchanal Road, you have Soca Weekend.
Yeah,
that's also a big thing.
So ready to go. Maybe not.
Oh my God, I want to go to Soca so bad, but I know I'm going for Carnival, so I'm like, I have to choose one or the other because I have to stop. So
wait,
I can't be going.
When is it?
It's gonna be that weekend, June 26th, whatever weekend.
Oh, it's June.
I'm sorry, not June, January.
Oh.
No. Okay. January, I'll tell you, just no. January 24th to the 26th. If people want to go down, that is a huge weekend in Trinidad for Soca Festival.
Is it, do we know if that's hard to get into? Like, is it a unicorn fed? Is it committee member?
It is.
Okay.
But Pumpcation is actually putting together a group trip if people want to go, and I think they might source the tickets so people don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
So that is an option for people if they want to check that out.
Awesome. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So we have, for our What You Want section, there have been a number of questions that were dropped. And I think it might be cool to kind of just tag team and answer these for the people. So the first
Okay.
one is, what are the best carnivals for newbies? What do you say?
I would say Bermuda and Bahamas. I think Bermuda because it is a beautiful island for people who live on the east coast, at least of the United States. It is no more than a 3 hour flight, so it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the tip end of a weekend, so you don't have to take too much time off of work if PTO is an issue. You are on a beach paradise, so essentially you can get a perfect balance of party and beach and relaxation so that you're not overwhelming yourself. And there's no more than 2 fets that you could be doing per day, which is where I think newbies kind of burn out.
Mm-hmm.
They're partying too much or trying to keep up or feeling like they're missing out, whereas Bermuda truly caters to, we did raft up today, we go in and sleep. Like, that's it. Or if you didn't do raft up, you do a nighttime party and you go to sleep. There's no pressure to kind of go from party to party and kill yourself out. It's an amazing experience. And I feel the same way about the Bahamas. You will not be fighting up to find lodging, which is the biggest issue on some of these islands. Lodging is the first thing to go.
Mm-hmm.
There are numerous flights going to and from Bahamas every single day. It's another beautiful island, beaches as well. And even some of the brands we've come to know and love, like Icebox, is there. So you can get a little bit of an offering of some Trinidadian promoters, but not be too overwhelmed, feeling like, I can't get into this party. And there are no such thing as unicorn feds on both of those islands.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody get a ticket, you go online, you don't need to know nobody cousin. Like, it's just amazing all around. You laughing, even honestly, even as much as I am Globey, it have people that I don't know that I can't get into parties for. Same way. It's like, I don't know this person cousin, I can't go. Like, and it's terrible, right? So, but those 2 places, there's no such thing. Everybody can go and have a good time.
I remember in 2016, I think that was the first Heroes Weekend, well, back when it was called Heroes Weekend, and I had bought a one-way. That ticket was $95, and I was just like, oh,
Girl.
bet. Let me go to Bermuda.
Yeah.
But I did hear that, it can get expensive, like, once you actually hit land, but the flight to get there was, like, really
Very
cheap,
cheap.
and even coming back, it was the same way. You just had to get lodging, and they do have, they had a helpful website where it would point you in the directions of some of the local apartments and condos for you to rent to, and you can record. And then I think they have like a little bus situation. And so when I was listening or when I was reading about it, it reminded me of Barbados and how I just get on the ZR and go to where you need to go, and that be that.
Bermuda, of course, is one of those countries that is expensive overall. So when you think about food or whatever, just budget for that. But I would say like parties, probably no more than $50 for a party, which is amazing in this day and age when we busting out to 160. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, you could get to party 3 times with that same little money. So I think it's a very good place for people to start out.
And note to newbies, I think even if you do decide to go to, a carnival other than those 2, it's great, like you said, to pace yourself. And I think that is the most important thing. Like, don't try to follow fashion with your friends and go to fete after fete after fete, 4 fetes in a day, and thinking that you're going to make it. Right. Like,
not even I do that. I'm like, I go and sleep, yeah?
I'm done. I am so done with that life.
Like, I see all you and all you come back. Bye. Because I used to be the person that, like, when everybody taking pictures, I looking tired. I good. No, I gonna rest. I need to rest myself.
The next question from our listeners is, what are your top carnival experiences and why? Let's just give them two of them.
Okay, give them 2. I think the world knows St. Lucia is one of my tops. If you don't know that, you're probably not following me. From the music to like just the people, the vibe, the costumes, like I've never felt as free as I have being at St. Lucia's Carnival. It literally like just every time I think about it, puts this little devilish smirk on my face because I had such a good time. Like I love it. The resorts are beautiful. It's one of those, it's actually one of the islands with some of the best hotels that are on land. Like you might not end up seeing all of them because they might be in the south or whatever, but that island is just amazing. And then if you want to tack on and do a little tourism after, you can go in the Sulphur Springs and all these other things. So that's why I love it for me. Like I can go have the time of my life, mash up my ankle, and then I can go to like a spa resort and relax because I love to spa as well. So like I can go relax myself after and then come home. So that would be it for me. Like St. Lucia is definitely number one.
And how many times have you gone?
I've gone twice now.
Okay.
Yeah. So next year will be my third time. I hear me not telling my cousin. I was like, I'm going to try to skip it and do St. Vincent. And she like, I'll hear about you. So the band start launching now. I'm like, are you ready? I ready. I hear a little dead re-soca and I'm like, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to go and bend my back.
And that is what's drawing me up. I said I wasn't going to go for 2020 because I'm trying to adult, but the Denery is honestly what drives me. And I think, and it's one of those things where, okay, yeah, there's going to be mixes out, but it's not going to be the same. You're not going to hear the same songs that you're going to hear when you're actually there, and you're not going to have the experiences.
Yeah, it's like almost 90% local, which is what I love. Like, people basically have their bands on the road, like the actual traditional music bands are on the trucks. When you go, you're still seeing everybody broke out. Like even though they are like the onlookers, the spectators, they partying with you. Like I love St. Lucia. I love it. I think you need to go, even though you're trying to adult.
I wanted to do Antigua. My goal is to do a new one every year.
Yeah.
But
okay,
we'll see what happens.
Selfishly, I do want you to try Antigua though, since you have tried St. Lucia. If it is an and or situation, but if you can swing both, try and do both. But if it's an and or, I would push just for you to do Antigua because I know you've done St. Lucia already.
And yours, all right. So what's your second favorite experience?
I don't even know if there's a second favorite.
St. Lucia tops it all. That's it. You did it. Everybody's going.
No, please don't go. We don't have space. Country foot. Just watch on Instagram. I'm really trying to think. Like Bermuda was up there for me. Bermuda has I would go to Bermuda for raft up alone. Not even necessarily the road, but like I love raft up. I love I love water. I love being in a bikini. I'm a summer baby, so that all appeals to me. And then it's like it's not overwhelmingly hot. Like it doesn't feel like your skin going and melts. Whereas some places you literally feel like your skin is peeling off. So I think it would probably be Bermuda.
I forget where I was talking about this, and somebody was asking me about my favorite. Oh, it was Strictly Soca for WCW Day. I was just like, nothing. For some reason, that year, 2017, I played with Peeny Wally Mass, which was like the boutique section. No, this is Jamaica. And so with Bacchanal Jamaica, Peeny Wally Mass section. And I am like a diehard dance hall lover. And so just being in Jamaica itself is like heaven, right? So I'm getting all of my foods. And their road is just spacious. Like it's super wide and I like space. And so it's like, it's not like you're in Trinidad with Tribe and like 5,000 people are on top of you and you have no room to move. So that is why I loved it. And then the DJs, I don't even know who was playing, but that experience was the best for me. And the thing that I love about JA is that, and of course everybody has now flocked there, is that there's so much to do. Like even everything's in Kingston. You can do tours in Kingston. You can take an hour drive or whatever to go to Ochi. You can go to Elsher and do so much. And I think that's really why I enjoy it so much. Granted, I don't think I'll be going back anytime soon. Actually, I would probably go to, this is a thing for you guys, to go to Marbana weekend in Ochi.
Yes, that is for Easter weekend.
That is for Easter weekend. Now that I do recommend, like get there on Thursday, leave on like Monday or Tuesday, because Ochi has their own carnival.
Yeah, they do.
Up in the hills. So
Even
that's
as you
a
mentioned, I was going to talk about Heroes Weekend in Jamaica too, which is a good
I'm
beach weekend for
trying to get
people if they
there.
want to go
The
cool
one in
down.
October or the one in
Yeah, it's in
yeah.
October, the week right after Miami Carnival. So
Mm-hmm.
the year I can get myself to skip Miami, I will be there. Rebel Nation has been pulling me in so bad. I was like, whoa, I come in.
It's
Every time
true.
I say I'm not going, I just reach. So whenever I cannot do that, I will reach Jamaica for Heroes.
But yeah, and they have packages too. Like it's just like a you can just buy everything one time.
It's super, super affordable. Like that's what I'm noticing now that these escape weekends are almost the alternative to if you can't do a week long carnival
Mm-hmm.
experience. But you're so I don't know why I didn't even remember Jamaica Carnival, to be honest. Maybe I didn't go this year, so it wasn't at the top of my
Yeah.
memory. But I do remember like 2015 when I did Bacchanal Jamaica, like it was amazing. Like I had a blast. I paid $25 to go to Duckwork.
Yes,
25.
yes. When I went, I think Duckwork was 30.
Yep, 25. I was like,
Girl,
this is a miracle. What? I'm
my
staying here forever. So next year I'm gonna be on the road to Bacchanal Jamaica. So I'm excited because I love their costumes this year.
they did well. They did very well,
Yeah, they did
actually.
really, really good. And then it's their 20th year anniversary. So I'm really excited to see like what surprises they have for
Mm-hmm.
Master
Mm-hmm.
there. So it's almost like going back to the roots since they are the originals.
Yep.
Um, yeah, so I'm excited.
So on the topic of flooding, one of the one of the questions that came through, these people are silly. They were like, "So, which carnival do you feel the Trinis and the New Yorkers are going to take over next?"
Ooh. Outside of St. Lucia?
Outside of St. Well, we are. I think yeah. I think we're in agreement that St.
Because I
Lucia
think
is
they
one of
doing that
those.
with St. Lucia. Um, and I feel very attacked because I'm a New Yorker, but anyway. Um
I mean, if it's any consolation, a New Yorker wrote it, so they know that because you have people who are like, for example, when Bay and I did Uber Soca Cruise 2016, that boat compared to the amount of people that are on it now, it was empty.
Yeah,
It wasn't even filled to
yeah,
capacity, and so you have
yeah.
people who are like, "Yeah, now I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give it like 3 years," because you
Yep.
don't know what if it's gonna flop. You don't know like how well they're gonna have it together. And but me, I'm like I like risky stuff. I like space. I
Yeah.
like to just try stuff that's new.
I like
And I do not regret that decision. And now it's like they're going into year 5. They're doing it big. They're changing up things for the 2020, and they're selling out,
yeah,
not even selling out. RSVPs are happening like the minute you're getting off the boat, or some people are doing it
yeah,
while they're on there.
yeah,
So it's like, I think people just, they're a little, and I get it. Like you're being very cautious with how you're spending your money because you don't, you can't really trust promoters or whatever that are new to the game. So I get it. But now, like when they do catch on, it's like, oh, here we go. Everybody watch out. So that's really why I'm trying to get ahead. I'm like, okay, let me touch Antigua first before that gets popular. Let me touch Bahamas and all these things before everybody else tries to catch up. And by the time they do, okay, I'll be done, and then I can like go back.
You and I are the same in that sense. And somebody even made a comment to me. They were like, I realize once Globey stops going, that means no taking off.
That's
and it's
a sign.
so true. Like, time I touch something twice, I'm like, I don't need to pass back because then everybody else is passing. So I'm like you, like, I want to experience something while it is 100% for the most part local. Like, I am getting the true, authentic, non-commercialized experience, right? Like, I don't want to come and go to the same carbon copy fets. I don't want the same DJs. None of that. I want to learn your music. Like when I was on my way to Antigua this year, I spent a good month like learning Antigua soca and all of that, so that I was familiar. I didn't want to go with any expectation of hearing a song that I knew from somewhere. And that alone, like I had the time of my life. You should have seen me when I went to the soca monarch because I knew one little song and I was so excited. That's how I truly feel like Carnival should be, you know what I mean? So I get that comment from that person. Like the more it feels like it's just a bandwagon thing or everybody's going, like I don't want to go. I want to go so I can experience it and then document it, and I will watch you all have fun while I'm at my home while it's not crowded. So yeah, I need my space.
Yeah, definitely St. Lucia is on that
St.
list.
Lucia's on their radar. And I don't, it's funny because I love St. Lucia so much. And every St. Lucian promoter, I keep telling them, please stay authentic. Please,
Yeah.
like, I literally, that's my biggest piece of advice. Please stay authentic. Don't allow outside, like, in promoters or anybody to influence, like, yours carnival. Please leave it as it is. Like, it is working. I love it as it is. Like, of course, there's always room for improvement, but make sure it's the improvement that you want, not that somebody else from another island is coming to profit off of your market. And I think that's why we keep carnival chasing, to find a different feel, like to get a different high. Like, I'm not going from carnival to carnival because it's carnival. I'm going because I want to feel that island when I get there. I want the different type of food and the music and the beach experience that are all different. But that's what makes it what it is.
But people are like, some people are the opposite though. They're like, they are going for a carnival and they're like, oh, well, this isn't like Trinidad. And I'm like, I know it's not supposed to be like Trinidad, or it's not supposed to be like Jamaica. Like, everything that you get in one island, you should not be expecting somewhere else. Right. Like, and that is what frustrates me.
You know what I see it as? Like, it's almost like when you travel and some people, let's say they go to Thailand and they are at McDonald's eating. They're not at McDonald's sometimes because there's a lack of palate development, right? They are at McDonald's because that is what they're comfortable with, and people operate within what they know. And so I kind of see those fetes on those promoters that travel carnival to carnival as the Starbucks and McDonald's of carnival. Like, they are there to provide the patron that needs some sense of familiarity, that experience. And that's all well and good. I just know for me as Globey, I want local. So if it's not local, I, like, more than likely there's nothing else to do, I will either opt to go on like an excursion or something, because I truly want to see like the island. There's never been a country I've been to that I haven't had an amazing time. But you have to allow the country to make you fall in love with it, right? You kind of go with the expectation that it's going to be like somebody else's.
This is true. This is true. So let's go into our trending Tingz topic. It's 2020, January, top of the year. So one of the things that surprised me recently was that I saw that Jay Upscale, who's a promoter in NY, was doing a party in Jersey. And it was like, it's a double whammy, because he's doing one in New York and one in Jersey, the Soca starter. And DJ Private Ryan is headlining. So I was just like, first of all, as a former Jersey resident, like recently, like yesterday, I have never ever, maybe not until like it's very rare. Maybe like 2 years ago, I went to a fete that I think was Fettuccine. Fettuccine was having something, was having a brunch. But before then, I've never gone to a fete in New Jersey, because nobody hosts them in New Jersey. And they're like, oh, what's the fete scene? I'm like, there is none. While I want, no, because I am very much granny and I love to be inside the house, but there are on those occasional moments where I wanted to go out. It would have been nice that I didn't have to cross a bridge, right? To go to New York. So,
I paid that $50
girl,
to New York.
Let's not talk about Easy Pass. This is so stupid. And then I go to other states. Like when I come to DMV, I'm passing through 3 states, not one toll I have to pay, but just to come, a 40-minute ride, and you want me to pay to go over this bridge? And then the next, and then don't forget if you have to go to Queens or to Brook, like it's a wrap. Jay Upsale, big up yourself. Thank you so much for this opportunity, and it is a day fete. So I think the one in Jersey it's a brunch kind of setting, which is good for a Sunday, because I think it ends around.
You want to get bed at 6 p.m.
and I gotta go to work. Work for the first time in 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I picked up my little dress. I'm curious to see, number one, who comes out. I'm curious to see whether there's going to be any NY people there, like aside from his friends, or whomever, to see, like, are y'all going to cross the bridge for this? Like we used to, like we do to come to New York.
It's free for them to drive in, right? It's free for them to drive in. They just have to pay to go home.
Yes. Yes.
I will be waiting on your feedback to report back, because I will be in St. Kitts, right? So I can't even come. I will physically not be here. So I can't go, but I would love to see what that does look like, even just from a venue perspective, because in New York, we're losing all of our venues. And I think that might be a solution to even the venue issues that we've been having.
Yeah.
See what that looks like.
And I hope it does go well, and I hope it is the start of something new and prosperous. Because the venue market in New York is going down, and you can't really trust them anymore. And every time you go to buy a FET ticket, it's like venue to be determined, to be announced, and it's like
because they doesn't have their permit, girl. It's so much things going on the back end there. Like at this point, it's not even the promoters anymore.
Right.
Point. It's so bad. Like NYPD not giving us a break. I think though that answers why so many New Yorkers do flood these weekends that are happening other places. Because to be honest, the experience is not the same at home anymore. Like when I think back to how like Labor Day weekend used to be, and we could go to Soka, like that little junkyard that everybody used to go to, or Tiki Village, and we would basically be there like a whole weekend jamming, or even before Williamsburg became what it was now. We don't have those options anymore. So a lot of people, you will see a lot more New Yorkers, especially because like Caribbean Airlines is a straight shot. You would just fly to and from like on JetBlue and say, okay, I go in Barbados for the weekend. Down to even I see Independence Weekend now, New York is leaving to go party.
But yeah.
New York doesn't have it anymore.
But even like for me, it's about, I like bang for my buck. So it's like you have these New York parties that are coming out and they're like $65+ and it's like, what am I paying for? Meanwhile, so if I go to X amount of fets in New York, that's a whole plane ticket that I could have taken. Yep. Like, you know what I mean? To go somewhere else. Like I literally just paid $35 for a fet in Trinidad on a boat, inclusive of shots and finger food. So with the comparison.
Don't forget that part. And finger food. Okay.
And finger food.
And I'm getting that. Like, play too much.
Like I'm like, and then you gotta put on top of that the energy that it's gonna take to find parking or not find parking or do an Uber or go on a train in your good clothes. Like it's not worth it to me. So that's why I really shy away from like these NY event. Like I want to support, but at the same time it's like this this really isn't helping me. This isn't beneficial.
I agree. So I will be interested to see how the whole J upscale thing turns out. So essentially what I see now is a whole weekend lineup because they have their New Year's Day party as well. And then you have the Soca startup. Right. So that will be a whole 3-4 days of party. So they want to offer that experience for their patrons. Like after you get dressed up in your nice dandan on January 1st, you can come and pelt a little waist on the 4th and the 5th after when Carnival died. Like that's Saturday and Sunday when it died down.
I mean, aside from that, I think the only thing that's trending for real is all these St. Lucia bands are launching. Like is Live Carnival launched or they just put out a teaser?
No, Live Carnival is part of Fusion, so I think they their section. Yeah, they launched their section.
Got it. I'm curious to see what Zuvo does because they did extremely well.
Girl, you and me both. I'm like, I hope y'all keep up with the energy because you're one.
Because people have high expectations now.
Yeah, I hope they do allow at least masqueraders that played this year to, like, for us to be able to register first because I can already see Zubo selling out. Like, and I'm not even playing with all you. Like, I need my costume. So let me be able to register before everybody else. Send me my link.
It's true.
So I can register.
Loyal Year One customers, give us that. Kind of like how Uber Soca Dudes does their damn, their That Ain't Missing Me. Y'all need to do something similar.
Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't have a chance.
And then for those of you going to Jamaica, a lot of those carnivals, or not carnivals, a lot of those costumes are selling out as well. BJA is, closing out on their sections and
like hotcakes.
Girl.
So my section I registered for, I think I didn't even end up getting the cape I wanted because it's sold up, girl, right? So I just have, hear me gonna say, like, I just got a regular frontline backpack. I don't got no cape.
You basic, girl.
I'm gonna have to ask somebody to use their cape for me to take a picture.
I can't.
But I think they sold out like 2 sections already, actually, above everybody else. So like, if Jamaica is on your radar, definitely make sure you get registered ASAP with whoever your band of choice is.
Yes. This kind of wraps up our chat. Shout out to you. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us and to educate the listeners on who you are, what you do. If you're listening, I need you to go and download the 2020 Global Calendar. We also talked about all the things that's trending right now with Jamaica and with Bacchanal Road and with St. Lucia, even though we really don't want St. Lucia to get overpopulated. Yeah, no. Yeah. I was trying to be nice.
Ain't no space. The hotel's sold out.
I was trying to be nice. But yeah, I mean, if you're going, get it together. We're not gonna give any tips right now. Right. But you do have information out there, so it's helpful. Please go visit her website, globalcarnivalist.com. Check her out on Instagram. Same name. But no, thank you so much for chatting with us. We appreciate you. Happy New Year, everybody. Be well in this new year, in this new decade.
Oh, yes. Positive vibes only.
All the time. Positive vibes. Do what you got to do. Make your boundaries. Get your smudging on. Get your sage. Get your Palo Santo. Whatever you got to do. Just go into this year with a bang and a right frame of mind. And we will be back with another episode of Nicest. Globey's definitely coming back, yo, because we have so much to talk about. And I'm just putting this out there that you're just probably going to be a regular guest, okay? So
that's fine. I had so much fun. I had so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of Nice-ish. As always, I'm grateful for your time and attention. Stay plugged in by subscribing to this podcast, my website, tingznice.com, and following me on all social media platforms. Visit the show notes for all the links and the plugs related to this episode. If you ever have questions about anything we discuss on the show, be sure to hit me up at info@tingznice.com. And remember, sharing is caring, so please pass this podcast on to anyone you believe will benefit from the information. I'm going to check you all later.